Hey, it's Delphine with another tutorial, and today I'm gonna show you how to make this bass. Alright, first I want to talk about my new release. It's coming on 24th of February. I just took the best projects from last year and I put them all together in one big album. So if you want to hear it, I'm gonna put a link in the description so you can pre-save it. And every single month from now on, I'm gonna be releasing at least till the end of this year. So stay tuned for that. If you like what I'm doing here, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It helps me a lot. And with that out of the way, let's look at the sound. Alright, so once again, this is what it sounds like on its own. I fucking love this preset. I made it a while ago and it's really versatile. I've used it on many projects. I've used it in some of my previous videos as well, but I've never made a tutorial on it. So today I'm gonna provide you with my extreme knowledge. So let's turn off all of the effects. I've got some reverb on this bass bus and the sidechaining. This is what it sounds like. If I turn off the clipper and the EQ is just dipping the mids a little because it was just too harsh. Yeah, it just didn't really fit with the mix of the track. Let me start with the MIDI itself. I've changed this to 12, so it goes up an octave, and I'm modulating this knob, the pitch wheel, which you can see right here. So I'm going up an octave right here. And at the end, there's like a bass drop, so it makes like a transition to the next section. Fuck. Well, that was powerful. Sorry if I raped your ears. Oh, fuck. I hope I'm not gonna start bleeding. Whoa. So I started with this oscillator. I have no idea where I got this wavetable. I couldn't find it in this list. It's called Native Curse, so it should be in Serum, but I don't know. So I just link you the preset down below and the wavetable as well. I don't know, it just sounds pretty cool. It has some overtones. I'm modulating it with the second oscillator. Let me turn the LFO on. So I'm modulating it with this LFO. I've turned the random all the way down because I don't want the phase to change every single time the note hits. Also, I've got this third LFO, which is modulating the FM. If I bypass this, it's kind of boring, so I'll just activate it. You can play it with all these LFOs. The most important thing is the bandpass filter. This is what it sounds like with the filter. Yeah, now you get the idea. I've turned the resonance up a little because it makes these little peaks that sound pretty cool together when they like meet. The bread and butter of these kind of presets or these kind of basses is bandpass filter. And in the multi section here, you've got the bandpass filters plus peak or plus notch. These two are the best for neuro basses by far. You can even use just the simple bandpass, usually the 12, because the 24 cuts off too much of the frequencies. But if you want this bass to be more interesting, you can add the peak or the notch. Or if you don't want to do this because it's kind of fiddly with these knobs, you can always just do the regular bandpass and then go into the effects and with the EQ create something like what I did here. You're basically making this manually in EQ. You can also recreate it in the DAW itself with a filter or just an EQ, just like this. Just grab it and make it move. So coming back to this filter, I turned the drive all the way up because I want it to be fucking loud, and I've played it with this cutoff, which is being modulated by this LFO. Also, I've got this second LFO, which is moving this notch up and down. now you got the idea of the sound laid out. So now you just make it more pretty and more interesting. So I've added this noise. You can barely hear it. It doesn't really do that much, but when you distort the sound, it can add some high end. I've also got some sub. It doesn't really have to be there, but you can always turn it off. Let's look at the effects. I've got the dimension. It just puts it into some kind of space. It's like a weird reverb or whatever. I don't like how Serum makes sounds super wide, so I turn the width all the way down. These are 100 by default, so it's pretty mono. But when you add the dimension, it introduces some width to the sound. Next, I've got distortion. Yeah, it just makes it more aggressive. I'm modulating the drive and the mix knob with this LFO. The X shaper is pretty aggressive, so don't overdo it. Next, I've got the flanger. It doesn't really have to be there, but it just creates some more movement in the sound. The same with phaser. This is with and without. It makes it kind of smoother, so I really like this effect. Next is the chorus. Yeah, I'm not gonna talk about the chorus right now. I'm just gonna talk about this EQ. So I'm modulating the frequency and I'm making this peak that I showed you earlier. And I'm also boosting the high end. And this high end is also linked to this macro, which is working with this filter. So I've got this comb filter here and it makes the sound way louder. Now it's turned off, and when I turn it on, it sounds like this. It really makes the sound fucking aggressive. It makes it too aggressive, if I'm being honest. That's why I linked it here. When I turn this knob up, the comb filter mix will go up and the gain of this high end will go down. So the sound doesn't get totally destroyed. It's too much. Even with the gain down, the high end is too much. But you can always just shape it with an EQ afterwards. If I really wanted to make this work, I would probably turn the drive down. And maybe even this mix. Now it sounds more presentable. And also I've got the second macro, which is being linked to this chorus and reverb. So this macro is just introducing some space to the sound. So if I turn it down, it's dry. Let me just turn the macro down as well. And if I turn it up, it just creates some space. This works great with some build-ups and intros and stuff like that. You can just turn it up. So it's like in the distance and you can make it come closer to you just by moving this knob. All right. So yeah, so the knob is linked to the mix of the reverb. I think this is just the stock settings. Maybe I cut some of the lows because it's a bass, so you don't want reverb on the lows. And I've got this low pass filter turned all the way up because of the same reason. So that's it. I'll link everything down below. Don't forget to pre-save my new upcoming album. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace!